Our scripture reading this morning comes from the book of Acts. We are in Acts chapter 13. Last week we saw how Jesus, through Saul, conquered some of his enemies. Today we look at Paul and Barnabas in Antioch in Pisidia, and the first sermon that's recorded by the from the Apostle Paul in the book of Acts. The reading will be Acts chapter 13, beginning at verse 13, all the way down to the end of the chapter in verse 52. As I read, I remind you that these are not merely the words of men, but the inspired words of the living God. Acts 13, beginning at verse 13. Now Paul and his companions set sail from Paphos and came to Perga in Pamphylia. And John left them and returned to Jerusalem. But they went on from Perga and came to Antioch in Pisidia. And on the Sabbath day they went into the synagogue and sat down. After reading from the law and the prophets, the rulers of the synagogue sent a message to them, saying, "Brothers, if you have any word of encouragement for the people, say it." So Paul stood up and, motioning with his hand, said, "Men of Israel, and you who fear God, listen. The God of this people Israel chose our fathers and made the people great during their stay in the land of Egypt. And with uplifted arm he led them out of it. And for about 40 years he put up with them in the wilderness. And after destroying 7 nations in the land of Canaan, he gave them their land as an inheritance. All this took about 450 years. And after